Arsenal Romanian leaders over in the Premier League with a 4-point cushion over the nearest and dearest Manchester City. That's right, but who, of course, will take full advantage this coming match day. We're going to get into it, all of it, next. That's right, folks. Back once again with another video. Today is match number 12. That's right, over in the Premier League with Arsenal still running supreme at the top of the table. Can the likes of Man City close the door a little bit? Well, we'll get into all of that in just 1 second. If you're new, where you been? Smash your subscribe. You want to subscribe for Premier League, Babin Rovers, whoa, football. We're all here under one roof. We have a stacked out fixture list just around the corner, and we'll get into all of that in a minute. I want to shout out to the patrons and the members. You know who you are. But let's bring you back up to date with where we are in the league. Let's get into it then, shall we? We are doing things a little bit differently on the prediction shows right here, right now. Of course, we're trying to just get the videos rolling back into the thick of things here now, non-stop shop all the way through to around about mid-December. So this is the results from last time around on the screen here. 2-2 scoreline between Tottenham and Manchester United. Everton with that 2-0 win over Fulham. West Ham got a massive win over the Claret and Blue Derby. 3-2 wins over Burnley. Sunderland and Arsenal duked it out to a 2-2 scoreline at this stadium. And last minute drama there. Chelsea 3-0 winners over Wolves, who of course since changed their manager. Villa with a 4-0 win over Bournemouth, Palace and Brighton in that derby. It was an M3 derby, M23 derby. 0-0 it was at Selhurst Park. Brentford with a 3-1 win over Newcastle, who are in serious trouble, I would imagine. Forest 3-1 winners over Leeds, again in trouble. Man City with a convincing win over Liverpool. Just look off the pace. And the table is on the screen here. As you can see, you're missing from this are my predictions. I hope to have them back on the screen next time around, just a little bit all over the place, getting these new style of videos set up. But yeah, Arsenal top of the table, 4 points clear over City. Chelsea are in it. Of course, a win for them could see them jump into second place. And look at Sunderland just punching way above their station right now and doing absolutely phenomenal. Kudos to them. Going down, it's Wolves, it's Nottingham Forest, it is West Ham in a free that you wouldn't imagine. Burnley, Leeds keeping their heads above water for the time of asking. And if you look at the bottom three, let's just look at the bottom three. Wolves have now changed their manager. Nottingham Forest have since changed their manager. I think they've done it twice. We've got West Ham have changed their manager. Burnley yet to change. Leeds yet to change. Fulham yet to change. Newcastle and Everton. So those three have pulled the trigger. Who is going to be next in the hot seat to keep them guys above water? So that is that. And of course, right about now is where we would show an update look at the prediction league, which we're not going to do today. We're going to hope to have that back into full shape. It's still on. Just do your thing. Keep predicting. Nothing's going to change. It's just I'm not showing you. I'm not ready. But we are going to jump into the deep end, of course, look at the next round of games, and these are those. And what we're going to do with the predictions is not really waffle too much. We're going to just go with my gut, maybe have a little look at the last game or the last run of games heading into this, how are they playing, that sort of stuff. Enough, not bore you with the history books. So let's get into it and, of course, talk about six-fingered banjo-played inbreds. That is Burnley. They're taking on Chelsea at Turf Moor. Burnley coming in 17th place, 10 points for them. Back-to-back defeats, though. Up against the Chelsea side, unbeaten in the last 4, just 1 defeat. In the last 6, Chelsea, of course, on the back of that 3-0 win over Wolves, of course, heading into this. The last away match in the league resulted in a 1-0 win or Chelsea. As for Burnley, the last home match, of course, was a 2-0 loss to Arsenal. Prior to that, though, they did pick up a win against Leeds. I think this is a game that's going to be a little bit out of their hands, of course. Burnley not expected to win with the bookies. I don't think they'll win this one, even though it is an early kickoff for Burnley. They might make it a little bit difficult. They might get a goal, but I'm going to go with a 2-0 win, Chelsea, as you are. Chelsea are definitely contenders for top 4 and maybe even more than that. Let's go to Bournemouth then as they take on West Ham United. Of course, coming to the Vitality Stadium. Andy Areola's Bournemouth are in 9th right now. Dropped off the pace a little bit. Back-to-back defeats. Just 1 win in the last 4. Up against the Hammers and Nuno Espirito Santo. Back-to-back wins for them. And finally get a bit of momentum moving. They are 18th with 10 points. That's right. Now, coming into this Bournemouth, I'm on the back of that 4-0 loss to Villa. Of course, that was shortly after that 3-1 loss to Man City. They were both away matches. Of course, the last couple of home matches resulted in a couple of wins, beating Fulham and Forest for Bournemouth. So they're looking good at home. As for West Ham, their last couple of wins also resulted in home victories. The last away match was that narrow loss against Leeds United. So they need to turn that around if they're going to be serious contenders from avoiding the drop. The bookies will back Bournemouth. They are favoured for this game. I think it's a tough old one. I think it's going to be a tight game. I have Bournemouth edging it, though. 2-1 winners at the moment. But, yeah, still a long way to go for that West Ham reboot. Let's go to Brighton up against Brentford, the Battle of the Bees. That's right, the American Express Stadium. Fabian Husler's Brighton are 11th with 16 points for them. Back-to-back games though without a loss. Up against the Brentford side under Keith Andrews, who do an absolutely phenomenal job. Of course, I expected them to go down, but they're doing great. They've won 4 of the last 5, and they're cooking with gas. That's right. They last played at Brentford. Brighton was a 0-0 scoreline. In fact, that's a scoreline that was twice the last 3 between these two sides. Brighton are on the back of that 0-0 draw against Crystal Palace. Has been back-to-back clean sheets for Brighton. Of course, their last couple of home matches have resulted in wins, beating Leeds, beating, of course, Newcastle. As for Brentford, of course, their last away match was a convincing 5-0 win of Grimsby in the Cup. Last away match in the league. Sorry, take that back. The last away match was a 2-0 loss to Crystal Palace. The bookies, though, back Brighton for the victory here. It's a tight one. Of course, Brentford have been playing out their skins. I've gone with just the 1-0 win for Brighton. I don't think they're giving away many goals right now, and I do think it'll be them that's taking over in the end, though. Got a Fulham against Sunderland. Fulham are in trouble. I think Marco Silva could be the next manager out. He could be. Of course, coming into this, though, just one defeat in the last 3, so doing all right. Up against the Sunderland side, who are just absolutely amazing this league season. Up to 4th right now, just one defeat in the last 6. Absolutely blowing everybody away. Coming at you at Craven Cottage. Marco Silva, though, on the back of a defeat with Fulham against his old club Everton, 2-0 last time around. Meanwhile, Sunderland on back-to-back draws for them, back-to-back home draws. The last away match was that massive 2-1 win away to Chelsea. Can they repeat it here against Fulham? Fulham are favoured with the bookies. I think Sunderland are definitely a team that you don't really want to play really right now. They're just proving everybody wrong. I think they'll get something from this game. Gone for all 3 points, 2-1 winners. Sunderland taking it to the house, and again putting another nail in the coffin of Marco Silva. Let's go to Liverpool. So they take on Forest, that's right, at Anfield. Arnie Slot's boys are in 8th with 18 points for them. 3 wins, 3 defeats in the last 6. Up against the Forest side, just 1 defeat in the last 5. And the Sean Dyche down 19th right now, 9 points, of course. Coming into this, they last played over at Anfield. It was a 1-0 win for Forest last season. But Liverpool are on the back of that 3-0 loss to Manchester City. The last home match in the league was a 2-0 win over Villa. Are they back, though? That's the question. Are Liverpool really back? Meanwhile, Forest are on the back of that 3-1 win over Leeds. The last away match was a 0-0 draw against Sturm Graz. Last away match in the league, though, 2-0 loss to Bournemouth. Unfortunately, I don't think Forest will get the result here. I think Liverpool should have it. I've gone 3-0, gone big. They need a result. They need to get moving. Otherwise, they could be bottom half of the table if anything goes against them. So big 3-0 win for Liverpool for me this weekend. Meanwhile, Wolves up against Crystal Palace. Rob Edwards is in charge for Wolves. Have lost 5 of the bounce. In fact, they haven't won the last 7 matches in all competitions. They're bottom with just 2 points. Record breakers. They could. Standing in the way is Crystal Palace and Oliver Glasner. 10th for the table, 17 points for them. Unbeaten the last 4, that's right. Coming over at Molineux. Wolves did lose last time against Chelsea. Back-to-back defeats for them in the league. Back-to-back games without a goal as well. They're finding that difficult. Standing in the way is a Palace side. Unbeaten the last 2. In fact, unbeaten the last 4, like I said. In the league, though, what we're looking at here, 2 clean sheets on the bounce. Of course, that narrow loss against Arsenal, one of them. So a couple of little stupid losses there by Crystal Palace. You know, the Arsenal one, you could forgive that one being on the road, but against Lanaka in the Conference League, that should have been a nailed-on home win. But no, I think Palace are still a team you don't really want to play against. They're 10th right now, and a win for them, they could project up to 3rd, of course. Again, new manager bounce, though, for Wolves makes this one tricky. I've gone with a 2-1 win Palace, which means a stodgy start for Wolves, which, of course, could regret this move. Both Rob Edwards and Wolves in the end. Let's go to Newcastle, who are desperate for a result, that's right. And Eddie Howe, they are 14th for the table, 12 points for them. Not bad form, though, when you look at it. 4 wins of the last 6 for Newcastle. City, though, Pep Guardiola, 2nd of the table, 22 points for them, just 1 defeat in the last 6. They've won 4 on the bounce, that's right. Coming into this, the Geordies did lose to Brentford most recently. The victories for them, for Newcastle, have come in the competitions. They've beaten Benfica, they've beaten Spurs, they've beaten Bilbao. It's in the league where it's a little bit stodgy. But can they, I guess, at home, they could be a bit more of a force. Standing in the way are Manchester City, who are on the back of 3 successive home wins. The last away match in the league, there was a defeat to Aston Villa. Bookies will back Man City here. This could be one of those. Everything points to a City win here. Bookies will go for it. Form goes for it. I've gone with a 3-0 win for City. I just think Newcastle are in a bit of trouble. On Eddie Howe, again, they could be in the drop zone here at the end of this match if everything goes against them, which I doubt it will, but it's nervous times. Let's go to Leeds United. They're taking on Aston Villa, coming on Sunday, the 23rd of November. Leeds and Daniel Farker, they sit 16th right now, 11 points for them, just 1 win in the last 6 matches against Villa under Unai Emery. They're back to bubbling, aren't they? They've won 4 of the last 6, 3 of the last 4, and back-to-back wins, of course. Coming into this on the back of that 4-0 win over Bournemouth. The last away match was a 2-0 loss to Liverpool, though. Leeds at home, of course, picking up a win last round, 2-1 winners over the Hammers. But 2 defeats to Forest and Brighton have put them in a bit of a real dodgy situation. The bookies, though, will back Villa on the road. I think I've got to back Villa to get something. I've gone with a point here. I think Leeds will be equal for a point. Again, a lot of eyes on this game, of course, but not as many eyes as we on the next one. It is the North London derby. It's Arsenal, it's Spurs coming at the Emirates Stadium. Arsenal under Mikel Arteta are top of the pops there, 26 points for them, unbeaten in at least the last 6. Standing in the way are out of sort Spurs here, and Thomas Frank just 1 win in the last 4. They are 5th, 18 points for them coming into this day. Now, of course, Arsenal on the back of that 2-2 draw away to Sunderland. Prior to that, though, 5 matches without conceding a goal. Spurs on the flip side with a 2-2 draw at home to Manchester United. The last away match was a 2-0 loss to Newcastle in the Cup. The last away match in the league, there was a 3-0 win over Everton. Arsenal, of course, top of the table and look good right now, despite not getting much bang out for their buck from Victor Gyökeres. I think Arsenal will win this one, 3-1 win. Unfortunately, Spurs just going to settle for what it is at the moment. As the rebuild continues. And then finally, we had a Monday night. It's Manchester United against Everton. Coming at Old Trafford. Manchester United, Ruben Amorim. Sits 7th right now, 18 points. And then they're unbeaten the last 5, but back-to-back draws for them. Up against the Everton side under David Moyes. Of course, David Moyes derby right here, right now. And they are 13th with 15 points. So they're coming into just 1 win in the last 4 matches. That win was against Fulham, of course, last time around. The last away match was that massive draw. You guys consider it massive now against Sunderland 1-1. Meanwhile, United are on the back of successive draws themselves. Successive 2-2 draws, drawing away to Forest and away to Spurs. The last home match, though, was that 4-2 win over Brighton. Of course, which, their home form has been pretty solid of late for Man United. Book is back in Man United. I think I've got to back Man United as well. I'm almost saying they're back, but they're definitely better than they were last time around. I think Ruben Amorim is probably giving them a stay of execution well into 2026 here, with, of course, the situation that they find themselves in. Because the win, they could see them into the top 4 right here, right now. And I wouldn't even rule out a push for the top 4 of the grand scheme of things. But I've gone with a win for Manchester United, 2-0 winners at Old Trafford. And if I'm right, guys, that's what the table will look like. It'll be a bit of a shake-up at the table. Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea, and Sunderland, as you were. Liverpool back up to 5th, of course. Man United into 6th. Going now, Wolves, Forest, and West Ham, pretty much as you were down the foot. But, of course, we'll be back with, of course, the next round. I get games very, very soon. So make sure you subscribe, smash the like wherever you are in the world, of course, and keep on updated with the channel. Of course, we've got lots to look forward to into 2026 with the World Cup and even Africa Cup of Nations. Until then, though, we'll see you soon, whenever that is.